Welcome to another episode of The Candy Show. I'm your host, Candy. We are right back here on Instagram Live. Make sure you are on the official Candy Show page, and that is Candy Talk Show page, official Instagram. Make sure you are also subscribed to the YouTube page, capital C, and the number 2, that's Candy Productions 2. That is where all episodes from the past, current, and future episodes will be. Guys, make sure you are following, subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing. Well, let's welcome my very special guest in the building today. I want you to welcome Mr. Melvin Franklin Jr.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You're so welcome. First, before we go any further, how are you doing today?
I am fantastic. I am finishing up rehearsal here, getting ready to pack my bags, uh, fly out to Houston tomorrow for the Black Heritage Festival. We'll be performing out on Sunday.
Oh, okay,
So,
okay. Well, since you're
and you forgive me, I'm drinking coffee out of my daughter's rainbow unicorn cup here, so y'all gotta forgive me.
listen, you're good. You're totally fine. You're totally fine. Get your hydration on. We know you have a big show tomorrow.
Yeah, well, the show is Sunday. I'm flying out tomorrow.
Okay.
Uh, Tomorrow afternoon, I fly out to Houston, and then the show is Sunday.
Awesome, awesome. So, what city and state are you coming from today?
I am in Lancaster, California, which
Okay.
is about an hour north of Los Angeles.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I tell you what, I'm not going to delay this anymore. You are the son of none other than a legend himself. And I'm also going to let you further explain the contributions that your father has made to this industry. But guys, if you did not know, he is the son of one of the Temptations. Ooh, sound just like him, look just like him, Mr. Melvin Franklin Singer from the Temptations. Ooh, 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 the bass,
Yes, ma'am.
the
The
bass.
co-founder of the
Thank you.
Tempations.
That's the reason
Um,
to say. I wanted you to say that. I wanted you to say that.
you know, original bass singer, greatest bass singer that ever lived. I am privileged and honored to continue to do my best to carry on his legacy.
I tell you what, I don't even have to see you. I know you're doing well. I know you're doing it well. I know you are doing it the best that you can. I don't feel like there could be anybody else who could.
I try. I'm learning. I'm still learning. See, he dedicated his entire life to this, right? So he had been a temptation since he was 17 years old, but he had been singing professionally since he was 14. You know, he this was literally his life. Like my father never had a job, like per se. This was his job, and to kind of step into those shoes is a bit of a learning curve there. It's not just talent alone. It's a lot of work behind the scenes. So I'm learning, but it's fun.
I bet it is. I bet it is. And just so I can make sure that people know, you are touring with Glenn Leonard's Temptation Review.
Yes, ma'am, I am.
How long have you been with Glenn Leonard?
Coming up here next month, it'll be a year. Yeah, it's what a difference a year makes, right? You know, this month it'll be, or next month, November, it'll be a year.
Okay. Do you feel like you do really have big shoes to fill because you share the same name, DNA, look, voice? Do you feel like you have a very big shoe to fill, or are you going to bring, or are you bringing Junior?
This is a great question. The answer is yes to both. And so, yes, obviously, I have, uh, I have T-Rex size shoes to fill, but also no one can replicate what it is that he did and what he brought. I just want to do my best to honor it while, still maintaining who I am, my own personal identity, but understanding that I am building upon the foundation that he poured.
Were you pursuing music prior to you entering Mr. Glenn Jr., excuse me, Glenn Leonard's Temptation Review?
Yes, ma'am.
What were you doing?
Well, I, prior to me joining uh, Glenn Leonard Sr., um, there are other sons um, that I have had the privilege of collaborating with, and we've delved into several projects trying to get trying to get traction with that. But initially, I entered into the music industry. Uh, I'm sorry, my daughter just came home from school.
You're fine.
Uh, I entered into music through hip hop, so I wasn't anywhere on the Motown radar initially. I came in under the hip hop genre and was heavily influenced by that and pursued that, um, for a number of years until someone reached out to me, to bring me into this part of the industry, Motown and understanding the significance of my heritage and my lineage, and that's when I started to take this a bit more seriously.
Did you always have this deep voice?
From what I'm told, from what I'm told, you'll hear Uncle Ron, or Ron Tyson. He'll say, "Hi, pumpkin. Hi, baby. Oh, you're watching me. You're watching me live. That's awesome. My pumpkin is watching us live on IG. Oh,
Tell her
anyways,
hello.
hmm?
Tell her I said hello.
She it is. She's watching you. But yeah, Ron Tyson tells a story of me when I was like 4 or 5 years old. Um, of my father sending me over to his door because they used to live in the same complex, and um, I guess my dad sent me to his door to ask for him, and he thought that I was my father, and I was like 5 years old or something. He tells the story much better than I do, but yeah. So from what I hear, I've kind of always had this.
Okay, okay. Hip hop industry. Were you actually rapping? Were you
Yes,
okay? Okay,
yes, yep,
okay,
at a very high level, I might add.
okay.
You know, but that was not the path that God had intended for me. So, um, I deviated from that. Actually, what brought me away from hip hop wasn't even this, this whole thing with Motown and my father's legacy and everything. It was receiving custody of my daughters. That's what made me back away from, because it wasn't just the music. I will always be in love with the music. Like it that is the soundtrack of my childhood, right? But the lifestyle that I was knee deep in, um, I had to back away from once I got custody of my daughters. And so that's what distanced me from pursuing that as a career. And, eventually God provided an opportunity to do this. And now here we are.
How was it the first time you stepped into your father's role to sing the words that he literally sung, and you're actually doing it on stage in front of thousands of people?
Oh man, it was nerve-wracking at first. But I have a lot of support. Um, I'm being trained by veterans, uh, mentored, by Glenn and the group, but Glenn specifically, and what makes that so interesting is that when Glenn himself first came into the Temptations, it was my father that mentored him, right? And he moved in with my father for a couple of weeks leading up to the Midnight Special, which was his debut show. And so like they would work together for 12 hours a day, getting Glenn up to speed to be able to do that television set. And, it's awesome how it's like a full circle moment where now he gets to pay it forward by mentoring me, and training me in this game. So I got a lot of support. I was nervous initially. Like I said, these are really big shoes to fill. But as long as I continue to focus on the work, um, and just remain humble throughout the process, uh, I've been able to handle it pretty well up to this point.
You're filling some big shoes. You're in Glenn Leonard's Temptations Revue
Yes.
group. Were you ever a dancer prior to this?
No, no, not at all. Not, not at all. Mm-mm. Not even close. I'll give you a good two-step. That's about it.
You had to learn some really, what someone would probably say, difficult steps for someone that really wasn't a dancer. How long did it take you to really get the full rhythm of, okay, I got it? But
Oh,
then,
I'm still working. I'm still nailing it there. Like I said, hold on, let me see if you can see this. I got, you see that? Look,
mhm.
I'm literally watching game film as we speak. Like I'm still trying to get this down. This is a continual process. We're talking hours and hours and hours and hours of repetition. Um, it's not for the faint of heart. Now there are those who are naturally gifted at this. I'm not one of them. So it takes a bit of work, but I'm keep swinging this axe, and eventually we gonna knock this tree down.
How long has Glenn Leonard's Temptations Review? Is it a, is a group or band? Just a
It's a
Temptation
group. It's a
group.
group.
How
Yes.
how long has it been around? How long has that
Uh,
been around?
for over 25 years.
Oh, hmm.
Yeah. hmm Well over 12, almost 30 years he's been, and just, I'm fortunate to be the latest edition.
Okay.
But, prior to me, there were a couple of other bass singers, but um, notably, Mr. Joe Herndon was also a part of Glenn Leonard's Temptations review, as a former Temptation himself.
I've had the privilege to see um, the current version of the Temptations
Hmm.
with Mr. Otis
Hmm.
a couple of times now. Then I've also, in the past, I say probably about 2016, 2017, maybe around that time, probably even sooner than that. I had an actual chance to do like a Dennis Edwards review, Temptations review, or something like that. It was like
Oh,
just,
you were able to see then with yeah, with Paul Jr. was a part of that.
I enjoyed it. It's just
Hmm.
like, while we know some of the members, original members, are not here, but it's just so fun to go and listen to someone who literally sounds like the original versions, and
Hmm.
they put it in their own spin. So I enjoy it. And the question I want to ask to you, with that being said, how does someone, and I don't mean to say it for like word for word or for you to answer it, but how does someone get a review started? Do they have to be part of the original band or original group? How is that, how does that happen?
That's a great question. Um, I could not tell you the particulars, honestly. I wish I could. I'm just fortunate enough to be a part of one, but I never thought to ask how that whole thing coalesces. Um, I'll definitely hit up Mr. Leonard and see if he's willing to explain the process to me.
Well, listen, I appreciate you even wanting to ask him that. It's totally up to you. I just wanted to know if you knew how does that start, because I didn't know for
No
sure if anyone could just start up a group and say this is a review, or can anyone just do it? Well, I guess people can, but it just seemed like it's more.
Right. I guess you could, but you wouldn't be a former Temptation doing it. So, with the son of an original Temptation to be, I'm just saying, you could try it, but it might not work out as successfully as his has thus far. But then again, maybe it will. More power to you.
But we get the feel of his energy through you. That's
Mm,
that's what we're gonna get. We're gonna get the feel of his energy. So yeah,
mm,
yes, there will be others, no doubt about that. But we get it's like a more one-on-one and intimate setting,
mm. I
because
appreciate that.
you're so welcome. Have you ever been to the Midwest with Glenn Leonard's review?
No, not with Glenn, not yet. Um, I have been to the Midwest with the Suns, but not with Glenn. Looking forward to that. I'm sure. I'm sure it'll be on the horizon here sometime soon. So we're going to Houston tomorrow. We'll be in Georgia in a couple of weeks. Um, then we're heading off to Germany and in the Netherlands. Uh, I believe we'll be back in the States in January. Um, Dallas, if I'm not mistaken. I got to check the itinerary.
Wow. How what is your most memorable moment, fan reaction moment, if you have had one, since you've been in this group?
Hmm. I would have to say, honestly, it didn't even have anything to do with the group. Um, Most recently, because I'm having the privilege of having Mr. Leonard introduce me to these international crowds, right? And it's a phenomenal experience. Uh, but I recently had the honor of being introduced by Otis himself, who was my father's best friend, um, at the show the Temptations and the Four Tops had here in LA County. They were down at the Cerritos Performing Arts Center, and Posted a clip of it up on Facebook, but that there, having him introduce me to that audience, and first of all, just that honor, um, that Otis wanted to do it himself, you know, I'll forever be grateful for that. And and then, the response of the people, uh, in honor of my father's name, it was just it was an incredible experience. So I would have to say up to this point, right? Because only God knows what the future holds. But up to this point, that was probably the most mind-blowing experience that I've had thus far.
I'm over here tearing up. Oh goodness gracious. Woo. Just
I'm sorry, I didn't
yeah,
mean to do that.
that's okay. That because I felt that. I felt that. I could feel probably how you were feeling. And just
Mm,
to know that, whew, okay. Okay. Oh goodness gracious. Ooh. Obviously I'm a huge fan, so I'm not even gonna lie. I'm a huge fan. If you know, you know. And the Temptations, total staple, legendary.
Greatest group of all time.
I don't even care what version. I'm gonna be honest. I just it's the Temptation
Right?
legacy, the name, the weight of what impact they had to the industry.
hmm
You just said you were torn with the Sons. Do share. What was that like? Tell me who you were touring with.
Well, it wasn't a tour.
Okay.
I mean, we've been working on projects, trying to get things to gain traction. That's a huge endeavor, and it's going to require a bit of backing to get that up and rolling. But that doesn't stop us from doing our best to collaborate on our own, you know. And so, again, over the course of the years, we touch bases and try to just continue to create for the time when that opportunity comes. We're not coming empty-handed. That's all.
What is one thing that you want to make sure that when you get on stage, people can receive and they will never forget about Melvin Franklin Jr.?
Great question. I would say the spirit of my father. I would want you to receive that through me, to know that he continues to live on. While you may be physically seeing Junior, I want you to feel Senior, and really take you back to that place where you first fell in love. Um, just that whole experience, why you became a fan in the first place, of my father. And that's, I think that's the objective that I strive for whenever I'm on stage.
Hmm. Well, that's deep. That's very deep. That's very deep. What do you do in your spare time when you have it?
Sleep.
Okay, so you would
No, I have very little spare time, but I'm a full-time father. Three of my girls are still at home. My oldest has moved out. She's an adult. Uh, I I study, and really what extra time I do have, I'm doing my best to pour it into mastering my craft. Um, because this is what he would have done, you know. So,
That is so important. If you want to achieve, you have to put that work in. You have to put time in, the dedication, sacrifice in, and it doesn't stop. You keep going. No matter where you at. Heck,
absolutely.
you could be in the bathroom, and getting yourself together, or just taking a long hot shower while you're there decompressing and relieving whatever that is. You're in the back of your head, if not the front of your head, thinking about, oh shoot, I got to do this step. I can't do.
Oh man, I can't tell you how many times I'll be in the mirror brushing my teeth, be like, hey. So, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's a nonstop endeavor, 100%.
Hmm. You just recently got into this. Are you in it for the long haul, or
Oh, absolutely,
okay?
absolutely. Um, I will do this as long as God allows me to.
Mm, mm. Do you ever see yourself mentoring anyone else, providing that good fruit that you were blessed with, and providing someone else that same information?
Sure, one day. I would love to. I have ambitions for mentorship, for establishing legacy programs. I would like to open up my own chain of group homes one day,
Mm,
uh, based on kingdom principles, but that's a whole nother thing. Um, but yeah, absolutely. If God has that in the cards, I would definitely do my best to pursue those avenues. Um, hopefully, I'm allowed to do that.
mm. What does your daughters think? Have they ever seen you on stage? Like in this particular group, have they seen you in Glenn Leonard's Temptation Review?
Not in person, only via video thus far. They haven't seen me with this particular group. They have seen me with the Suns, but they haven't seen me with Glenn. Not yet. I'm hoping that changes here sometime soon.
Mm, mm. Have they given you any pointers? Any tips? Are they into this?
No, no pointers, no tips. They're just kind of fascinated by the whole thing, which is cool. You know, they're like, "Oh wow, my daddy's gonna be famous." So, I think that's cute. I'm like, "No, I'm not. My daddy was famous. I'm just me." But it's all him. It, but it's cool. They see me rehearsing and they'll come and jump in the background, so try to copy my moves and stuff. Oh, it's fun.
Do you ever get into any of the dance craze of the like the TikToks or anything like that, like the dance, you know?
No, ma'am. I have my hands full just trying to learn these steps. I don't need any additional complications.
I,
No,
I,
thank you.
I bet, because listen, it takes whew, precision to do
hmm
to
I
do
don't
that.
even have a TikTok account, so I know I'm kind of late to the party there. I'll get there eventually, um, but I'm working on it. I'm working on
Oh, what is your favorite Temptation song?
it. Ooh, um, ooh, hmm. There's so many, right? Um, hmm.
They all, I'm sure,
I would
start.
say, yeah, okay, so I'm gonna go a little bit off the beaten path here. Uh, I'm gonna say you're so easy to love.
Hmm,
Yep,
okay.
that's where I'm gonna go.
Is
It's
that
one of
one
the
of the ones?
few songs my father sang the lead on.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you can go and check that out for my hardcore fans. Go and look that up, and you'll you'll hear him come in and it's time to wake up, baby.
Oh,
He was he was in full Mac mode.
I bet.
Yeah,
I bet.
yeah. That's definitely one of my favorite. I got a few of them, but that's one of them there.
So was that okay? So help me understand. Is that song ever in rotation for your performances?
No, not currently. Because I'm a part of Glenn's group, so we do the sets that Glenn sets for us to do, which is primarily the hits, right? But so this song is a bit obscure, uh, B-side song, but again, just one of my personal favorites. So maybe one day I'll get a chance to sing it. We'll see. Again, only God knows what the future holds.
That's it. That's it. I say this all day long as I'm closing out the candy show. Stay tuned because guess what? You're not gonna know, and I'm most definitely not gonna know what's gonna come up. Only God knows that.
Hmm. Hmm.
Only He knows that. Mm. When you get in your bed at night, what stays on your mind? What can you not stop thinking about this entire situation with you being apart now, being able to step in your father's shoes, to just everything that's going on or has went on with your affiliation with your father. What stays on your mind about this whole situation?
I'm really glad you asked me that. Because there is one thought that stays on my mind continually throughout this entire process, day and night, and it's actually it's a verse. Before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you, and I sit and think of all that I have endured up to this point, and to now be where I am versus where I was, and see all of the dots being connected and see how it was all a part of the plan with hindsight being 2020, and just understand like, wow, you always had this in the cards for me. I just didn't see it, you know. So that's the thought that is constantly on repeat in my mind. Like it's really true. Like before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you. He knew that this was going to happen. He knew that this was my destiny. He knew that this was in my future when I was still in my past. And every step that it took for me to get here was molding me to remain here once I got here.
Hmm. Oof, goodness. Oh my goodness. That's a word. That's a message. That's a scripture. Because it is true. If you are a believer, it is true. Um, because listen, everybody goes through something. If you are still here, we know that you've been through something. And if you
Mhm.
haven't, guess what? We are all going through it right now. We are getting
Right.
through it right now. And so
Absolutely.
those things when they happen to you, you're like, this can't be whatever it might be. This can't be, how is this really what I'm supposed to be doing? And so, yes, that's the thing. We don't know what that future looks like for us. But at the end of the day, understand that everything is for a purpose. If you are a believer, everything happens for a reason. And to God be the glory.
Amen.
To God be the glory. I know
Absolutely.
with all that being said, are you gonna write a book anytime soon?
Yes, 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 I am. Um, though I'm not, so many other things on my plate because I've already actually started it, but so many things piled on my plate right now to where I've kind of had to step back from it because I want to be able to present my best self in everything that I do. So, uh, but to answer the question, yes, it is just a matter of when I will have the time to focus on completion. But most definitely, I do want to share my story with the world.
For some reason, I had a feeling that you probably would, which is why I really did want to not so much as touch on a lot of stuff,
Mm,
because you do have a story, and it's still it's still being played out right now.
absolutely,
And
absolutely.
I just think not only Mr. Andre Pittman from
Shout
Enthroned,
out to Dre. Yes, shout out to Mr. Andre. He
yeah,
hates it when I call him sir. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I can't help it, man. It's just respect. I respect my elders. That's just who I am. Give a shout out to Mr. Andre, 100%.
yes, thank you so much for Andre for connecting us and getting this together. I'm the same way though. If I know that you're my elder, sir, ma'am,
Hmm. That's
miss,
just who I am. Yeah. So, and then I apologize too. I didn't get a chance to do it, face to face or screen to screen, however this worked. But for missing the last appointment, I unfortunate circumstance, and it I hated that because I hate missing appointments. So I'm really sorry about that. So thank you for rescheduling me and having me on this afternoon. I appreciate
you're so welcome. Thank you. I completely understand things. Listen, a lot of things are not set in stone. So
that.
we were able to adjust this. So thank you so much, which is why I asked you in the very beginning, how are you doing?
Hmm. Hmm.
How are
Yes,
you?
you did, and I appreciated that.
You're so welcome. I know we could sit here and we could talk all day long. We could talk about everything that's going on, but I did just want to touch on and introduce to my following who you are. And
Mhm.
listen, there is a lot more to you. I know it. I heard you crack a smile and a joke and all of that other stuff earlier. So, yeah, you don't have to be so serious all the time. But
Mhm.
you're in your professional mode, and I want to ask, what do you
I mean,
do?
this is my job, so hey, I'm at work right now. So.
That's it. That's it. Okay. So with that being said, let them know how they can continue to follow you on your journey, because I know that we're on Instagram Live right now, but you have other social media pages. So please let them know.
Yeah, Melvin Franklin Jr. everywhere. Well, I'm mainly operating IG, Facebook, and YouTube. Those are my three main platforms, but I'm working on expanding. Um, excuse me. Be cautious of imitation profiles. I've already seen a couple of those have been brought to my attention already, which is crazy because I'm not even big like that. People, But whatever it is, what it is. So, um, but if you don't see me on there, then don't mess with those profiles. But I'm expanding to all of the other spaces in the webosphere, but primarily Facebook, IG, and YouTube. Melvin Franklin Jr.
Awesome, awesome. Does Mr. Glenn Leonard do? Is there a Temptations review page so people can follow him?
Yes, yes, you can follow Glenn Leonard's Temptations Review on Facebook. We'll have all of our upcoming show dates there. Um, you'll have pictures of performances, video clips from previous performances. Like I said, we'll be going down to Houston this weekend. So, give it a few days, you'll be able to see some clips from that show there, I'm pretty sure. Um, and yeah, just to stay up with everything that we're doing as a unit, 100%. Uh, Glenn Leonard's Temptations Review. Follow us on Facebook.
Awesome. Well, I'd like to thank you, Mr. Melvin Franklin Jr., for just providing me your time out of your busy schedule today. So I appreciate you for that.
It's a pleasure. The pleasure's all mine.
Thank you so much, guys. Well, you already know we are at the end of this episode. Make sure you are following the official Candy Show page, and that is the Candy Talk Show on Instagram. Make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube page, capital C and the number 2, Candy Production 2 on YouTube. Please, once again, make sure you are liking, following, sharing, commenting. If you like this, share it. If you like him, share it. If you like me, share it. Just share it because we just want to make sure that we can get him out here. Because guess what? He has some shoes to fill, and I can't wait personally to see that one day soon. Hopefully, when either I can get to the West Coast or somewhere around, because a lot of people miss us sometimes. So I'm located here in the Midwest in Indianapolis, Indiana. So just in case you're
Well,
some
we working on it. We working on it. Hopefully we can get there soon.
Well, I'll make sure I tap in if I see you around town sometime soon. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Stay locked in. You never know what's coming up because I don't either. So stay tuned. Only God knows. All right, thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it. Love y'all.